taking your audience questions. 2 ways to submit your questions. Go to our website, davidpakman.com, click on Contact Us, send in your question, or call our voicemail line, 219-2-DAVID-P. Here's an email question from Bram. Bram says, you've given a lot of great discussion to a lot of political and social issues, but I haven't heard much about your economic beliefs. You seem to generally support President Obama's economic policies, which, despite being called socialist by the right, are often denounced by various socialist organizations. What are your thoughts on socialism and the Democratic Socialist Party? If you are in support of it, do you support more social democracy or democratic socialism? Well, number one, I would disagree that we don't talk much about economics here. We talk significantly about government spending and taxes. We talk significantly about capitalism and aspects of capitalism that do and don't work. We talk about markets. We've had countless economists on the show. So I don't know that we don't talk much about economics, but I think I've been pretty clear about my views, which is that when it comes to the broader economic view, Democrats and Republicans are very, very similar. I think that really the ideal thing would be a total paradigm shift in this country. I mean, a total paradigm shift, which would move away from exorbitant defense-type spending, and it would have a government that provides both a basic level of health care. Everybody's insured. Your health insurance is no longer tied to your employer. You no longer have to make decisions about your job and what you like to do in life based on keeping health insurance, because the government would say the broader good of everybody being covered is going to lead to, number one, more happiness. Number two, the idea of bankruptcy because of now not being able to pay medical bills will go away. And number three, we're going to have a more productive country if we can at least eliminate one hindrance from people doing what they want to do in life, which is having to make decisions based on benefits. You always hear that. Well, they have great benefits. I really can't leave even though I hate it, right? That's number one. And then number two, I think that when I do my taxes every year, and I do the taxes for the David Pakman Show and my business, I start to think like a Republican sometimes. I say, look at all these taxes I'm paying. I wish I were paying less taxes. This is crazy. I work all year, and every month, every check I get in, I'm sending close to half of that back to the government. This is a disaster. I don't like this. And then I say, hold on a second. I don't think the problem is the amount that I'm paying in taxes. I'd be okay paying what currently are the tax rates or even a little more if, number one, we had the health care, and number two, we had college education included the way so many European countries do. Now, I know many people will say, well, those European countries have their own problems and they're small countries. The U.S. can't do that. I think that's a cop-out. I think that the U.S. has some of the brightest minds around. The U.S. can figure out how to do anything, and paying 48% taxes and getting health care and college, that should be possible. It is possible. There's just no political will to do it, is there?
No. I mean, the issues we cover the most frequently are economic issues, right? Healthcare,
in some way, yeah.
Defense, education. These are ones that I think all of us here would follow the more socialist countries on. And then the only
And again, I don't even use that term. I think it's socialistic from the kind of amateurish point of view of Americans, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, the issue of, well, campaigns and the number of elected officials we have and the parties, that's a separate issue, but that's...
But it's connected to money, which is connected to the economic system. I mean, it really is all connected.
It really is, yeah.
Natan, do you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, I don't know what the question was again.
So the question really is, what are our thoughts on socialism, Democratic Socialist Party, social democracy, etc.? And my view is that I believe in a form of capitalism which has elements that some people would call socialistic. I would call them elements that are kind of to provide a baseline for the greater good. I like the idea that I can create a business like the David Pakman Show, create a business model, grow that to whatever extent I want, and I'm comfortable working within the framework of the government, where the government provides certain services, collects taxes. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
It's a question also of individual liberty, not to steal this whole idea from libertarians, but they really have it all wrong. The reality is that pure socialist states or communist states always coerce individual liberty in the guise of, or intentionally when they're trying to control the means of production in the economy.
Right.
So obviously, I don't support that.
Right.
On the other hand, it also isn't. You also don't have liberty, and it's not a free system where simply by being born in a housing project in, Brooklyn or in Compton, you're going to end up not having anywhere near the same shot as someone who happens to be born in an upper middle class place in Chicago.
Right.
So what ends up happening is the government has a duty in order to protect that fairness to really get involved. And the things that you mentioned are exactly what's needed. I would say preschool, maternity leave, health care for all, and greatly reduced prices or free higher education. If you do all of those things with maybe slightly higher taxes, you can definitely, down the line, make a big down payment towards improving the wealth, the overall wealth, the education level, and the success of the country politically, too.
So really what I'm hearing from Lewis and what I'm hearing from Natan and what I'm hearing myself saying is more along the lines of a social democracy.
Right.
That's really, I think, where we're falling more.
Yeah.
All right, keep the questions coming. Excellent question. Voicemail 219-2-DAVID-P. Call right now. Leave us a question. We'll answer it.